Hi everybody, it's Monday morning, fresh start to a new week. Before I start with Alfie series books this week, I just want to do kind of like a quick message. Obviously last week we found out we've got at least another 3 weeks of this, and obviously as long as this is going on for, I'm more than happy to be doing what I'm doing. But I just want to do like a message for the children to let them know that like the teachers are still here. And I'm sure if you're like my school, I'm still regularly calling and speaking to the children in my class. And letting them know that we're still around. We haven't just disappeared. So as you know, this week's book series week are the Alfie books. Now originally I said I only had enough to do one a day, but I have now found one for each day, and then also one book to do as a live, which I'm thinking will probably be best to do on Wednesday around midday. It will just kind of be a nice midweek thing. So here we go. The first book I'm going to read is Alfie, all about Alfie, and obviously it's by Shirley Hughes. Where's Alfie? Where's Alfie? Nobody knows. Annie Rose is calling him. She wants him to play with her, but there's no answer, because Alfie's in his secret den. At the bottom of the garden. He's in there among the leaves, where nobody can see him. Not answering when he is called. Flumbo is in there with him. They've got provisions, a sandwich, a bottle of orange juice, and 3 biscuits. That should last for a bit. They're planning to be a secret gang one day, like Robin Hood and his outlaws living in the forest. But in the meantime, Alfie's got some special things in there which nobody knows about. There's an old key that he found in the ground, a precious piece of china with a blue and white pattern on it, a little plastic teddy. Alfie keeps them under some leaves where nobody can find them, because this is his special place. It's his secret den. He could even stay out here all night if he felt like it. Well, until bedtime, anyway. The very special birthday. Alfie had plenty of friends at nursery school, but his best friend was Barnard. They often played together after school. Barnard had a huge collection of cars and trucks and aeroplanes. When Alfie came to play at his house, they got them all out and raced them across the floor. Barnard didn't have a special cuddly toy that he liked as much as Alfie liked his dear old knitted elephant Flumbo. Usually Barnard took his favourite racing car to bed with him. For his birthday, Alfie had given Barnard a book full of pictures of aeroplanes, which he liked a lot. He knew the names of most of them, even the old-fashioned ones. He had seen them in a museum. One day, Barnard came to play at Alfie's house, and he brought his aeroplane book with him. After they had looked at it for a while, Mum asked if they would like to help her ice a cake for another very special birthday. It was for Alfie's great-grandma Hilary. Mum told them that she was 90 years old today, and that was very old indeed. Alfie and Barnard helped Mum to spread the chocolate icing on the cake and make it smooth. Then they put 9 candles on it, one for every 10 years, and wrote a big 90 in the middle in tiny jelly sweets. Mum said that after lunch they were going to drive to the home where great-grandma Hilary lived with some other elderly ladies and gentlemen, and she asked if Barnard would like to come too. Alfie did not think that this sounded like a very interesting plan. He thought it would be much nicer to stay at home and play with Barnard, but Barnard thought it was an excellent idea. He had never met a great-grandma before, and he wanted to see what she looked like. He imagined she would be very big, perhaps even a giant. So while Mum was wrapping up great-grandma Hilary's present of a beautiful silk scarf, Alfie and Barnard made birthday cards for her. Alfie drew a cake on his and put a 90 on it in coloured dots. Barnard drew a huge lady with the two tiny people standing next to her, who were himself and Alfie. After lunch, Mum put Great-Grandma Hilary's cake and present and a bunch of flowers into the car, along with Annie Rose, and they all set out. Barnard brought his aeroplane book and Alfie took Flumbo. When they arrived, they were shown into a room where everyone was sitting, and there was Great-Grandma Hilary in a big armchair. Barnard was very surprised when he saw her, because she was not huge at all. She was a very small lady, but she smiled a big smile when she saw them. She was very pleased with all the things they had brought, especially Alfie and Barnard's cards. When the candles on the cake were lit and everyone in the room had sung Happy Birthday, Great-Grandma Hilary asked Barnard and Alfie if they would like to help her blow them out. She thought she might not even have enough puff to do it on her own. After tea, she gave Alfie the beautiful silver ribbon which Mum had used to tie up her present, and helped him to make a bow around Flumbo's neck. Then she asked Barnard if he would kindly show her his aeroplane book. Barnard was even more surprised when they went through it together and she knew the names of the old-fashioned planes. She told Barnard that when she was young, she had worked in a factory where they had actually made aeroplanes. She knew a lot about what kind of engines they had, and once she had been to an airfield and seen the pilots take off and do stunts in the sky, looping the loop and diving over the central tower. When it was time to say goodbye, Mum and Alfie and Annie Rose gave Great-Grandma Hilary a big hug. Then it was Alfie's turn to be surprised because Barnard gave Great-Grandma Hilary a big hug too. And hugging people was something that Barnard did not often do. When they got back home, Alfie and Barnard both ran about with their arms spread wide, making loud aeroplane noises. They ran all the way over the living room and the hall and down the passage and around the kitchen table until at last they were so tired that they made a crash landing on the floor. It had been a very special day. The end. There we are. All About Alfie by Shirley Hughes. Well, that was a lovely story, wasn't it? Well, we'll be back this afternoon with Alfie's alphabet. I'll see you later.